Hello, friends, and welcome. My name is Alejandro from Flow into Nature, and today we are starting off with the first of the Mandala series. Mandala in Sanskrit means circle. So as we move, we're going to be facing in every direction of the mat. They're really fun, they're really creative, they're really interesting to move through, and I know you'll have some fun. With that being said, because we're moving in every direction of the mat and you have the screen facing right in front of you, the ideal position is for you to place it right at the top of your mat. That way it'll be the easiest for you to see as we move throughout the circles. With that being said, place it at the front of your mat. There's no props needed today. Maybe grab some blocks if you have them, and let's have some fun. We're going to get started in a Shavasana, so go ahead, lay down on your mat. We're going to bring our feet about hip-width distance apart. Maybe you want them a little wider onto the corners of your mat. Arms are going to be by your side. Just make sure the palms face up so the shoulders open up. And then maybe just start to notice there's a big arch in your low spine. Maybe you want to tuck your tailbone just a little bit more. Maybe you rock your head just a little side to side before it comes back to center. Maybe you even want to pull your chin just a little bit more into your chest. And allowing yourself to become heavy, to release any tension you may have in the body. Relax the jaw, the shoulders, the core. And just let yourself be grounded, be supported into the earth. Like I mentioned, today's class is a mandala. It means circle. So we're going to be using the full length of the mat. If you've never done one, know that it's a fun experience. And as we move today, what I want you to realize is that we move in circles, we move in patterns. Even the small things that we do, like brushing our teeth, we have to pick up the toothbrush, put on toothpaste. We normally brush our teeth in the same pattern, and then we have to rinse out our mouth. That in itself is a cycle, a circle. And just like we have these circles of patterns that we have in our lives, the energy in our body, the chakra, is also a circle. And these energies move in circle-like shapes. And they move within themselves, and they also move around the spine as a circle. So what we want to do as we move through these sequences is I want you to notice the energy shifts, start to notice maybe patterns that you may have, things that you do automatically without thinking about them. And then as we progress through these classes, the idea is to learn to break those patterns. Maybe it's an extra breath, maybe it's an extra posture. And so that we know that these cycles of life that we go through, just like we go through every day, through every month, through every year, those are patterns as well. But we can always have the option to change. We always have the option to grow. But we have to start by noticing what the pattern is. And then from there we can make the change. Let's go ahead. Let's exhale out all of our stale air. And let's start our first cycle of breath. Take a deep breath in, fill into the belly. As you push the air down, let the diaphragm expand. Open the mouth, exhale, let it go. Maybe you want to breathe in a little bit deeper. Inhale, fill into the belly. Maybe you then expand into the chest. And as you exhale the same way, let go of the air in the chest, then in the belly. We're going to take one more breath in, fill up into the belly, up into the chest. Hold it at the top. And then open the mouth, exhale, let it all go. Take a couple more breaths on your own. Can you become even heavier on your mat? And start to notice, as I explained, anything around the circles, the patterns that we have. If anything came to mind, just become aware of it. And then come back into the present moment. We're going to start to move. We're going to start just with our right leg. Bend the right knee. Start to bring the right leg up and in towards the chest. Grab onto the knee and to the shin with the left hand. Beautiful. Really squeezing the right knee up and in to the outside towards your right armpit. Take a breath in. As you exhale, can you pull the knee a little bit closer to the ground? Exhale. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Can you squeeze it in a little tighter? Exhale. 1 more breath in. Squeeze in nice and tight. Exhale. Release your left hand. Bring the right hand to the inside of the right knee. And then gently just let the right knee open to your right side, finding that external rotation of the hip. Just being nice and gentle. Notice if the left hip also wants to lift off the mat. Can you press the left hip down, keeping both hips grounded? Just letting the right hamstring start to open up and the right inner hip. Breath in. Breath out. 1 more inhale. And exhale. Bring your right hand to the outside of the knee. Slowly use the strength of your arm to bring the knee back through center. And we're going to extend the leg. So kick the right heel up into the sky. Really want to flex through the toes. Bringing your toes in towards your shin. Kick the heel up towards your ceiling or your sky. And as you do that, maybe you want to grab your hands behind and interlace the fingers behind the right thigh. If it feels good, maybe you slide the hands up the leg towards the calf. And if you have a lot of flexibility, maybe even grabbing onto the ankle. We're trying to find a big hamstring stretch as we breathe. We inhale and kick the heel away from the hip. And as we exhale, we're gently just trying to draw the toes to come over the head. 2 more breaths. Inhales, kick up. Exhales to pull. Maybe you want to slide the hands even further up the leg. 1 more breath in. And pull, exhale. Slowly release the fingers. We're going to bend the knee. And we're going to bring the left hand to the outer side of the right thigh. And we're going to find a twist as we guide the knee to the left. As we do so, the hips will stack over each other. Try to keep both shoulders grounded and pressed into the mat. Option, if you'd like to, you can open the arms. Maybe you even want to look over towards your right hand. We'll take 3 breaths. Every inhale, can you feel the length of your spine? Every exhale, can you relax and twist a little deeper? Breath in, lengthen. Try to find more length between each vertebrae. As you exhale, twist. 1 more breath in. And twist, breath out. Slowly bring your right knee back into your chest. Give it a quick and gentle squeeze. And then slowly just extend the right leg out long. We're going to bring the left knee in. With the left hand, grab right below the knee. Right hand grabs onto the shin. Start to squeeze your thigh against the outer side of your core. As you breathe, inhale, feel the belly press up against the thigh. As you exhale, use the strength of your arms. Try to pull the knee a little closer to your armpit. inhales, fill into the belly. Exhale, squeeze the knee in. One more breath in. And squeeze, breath out. We're going to release the right hand. Bring the left hand to the inside of the left knee and gently just let the left knee open to your left side. Again, notice if the right hip is trying to lift off the ground. Both hips stay grounded, just letting the left thigh open up. Allow yourself to breathe with every inhale. Try to find groundedness through the hip bones. As you exhale, can you relax? Let that left inner thigh open up a little bit more. Finding that space. Breath in. And a breath out. Last one, inhale. And exhale. Bring the left hand to the outside of the knee. Use the strength of the hand. Pull the left knee back to center. Kick your heel all the way up towards the sky. Flexing your left foot. Option to interlace the hands behind the left thigh. Maybe if you have the flexibility, behind the left calf or even the ankle. And we breathe with every inhale. Kick up and lengthen. As you exhale, can you gently draw the toes to come over the head? 2 more breaths. Inhales, kick up, lengthen as much as you can. As you exhale, pull it in. 1 more breath in. And as deep as you want to go, breath out. Slowly release the leg. We're going to bend the knee. Right hand is going to come to the outer left thigh and slowly just pulling your left knee to your right side. As you do so, notice the hips will stack over each other. Make sure the left shoulder is pressed and grounded into the mat. Option to open up both arms like a T, and you can even look up. Maybe you want to look over the left shoulder. 3 breaths. Every inhale, find length through the spine. Every exhale, can you feel yourself melt into the mat? Feeling that twist and rinse. Inhale, lengthen. As you exhale, notice the circle your hips are making to twist through the spine. 1 more breath in. And a breath out. This time, slowly release. Bring the left knee back into the chest. Take a breath in. And a breath out. Bring your right knee into your chest. Really find yourself into a nice little ball. Maybe you want to rock a little bit side to side. And then from there, come back through center and start to rock forward and back, forward and back. Use this to massage every vertebrae, to massage the muscles that surround the spine. Maybe you go 2, 3, maybe 4 times until you come all the way up into a seat. Cross your ankles, plant your hands, find a tabletop position. Make sure your hands are directly underneath the shoulders, really pressing into the ground. Your knees are going to be right underneath your hips. We're going to move into some cow cats. Inhale, cow pose. Drop the belly. Open up into the chest. Maybe even let the chin come all the way up towards the sky. And then as you exhale, cat pose, start from the tailbone. Tuck the tailbone. Press into the ground to lift the heart. Then your chin will come into the chest. We move just like that, starting from the tailbone. Inhale, drop the belly, open the chest forward, chin comes to the sky. As you exhale, tuck the tailbone, heart to the sky, chin to the chest. 1 more just like that. Inhale, cow pose. And exhale, cat pose, round and curl. Come back into a neutral spine. Really feel the core engage, pulling the belly button into your spine. We're going to move just so that we can strengthen and stretch out the wrist. From here, we're just going to start to rock forward and back, forward and back, forward and back. Do that a couple more times, really making sure you're pressing into the base of the thumb. All 10 knuckles are still pressed all the way down into the mat, and your core is nice and strong as you shift the weight forward to bring weight onto your forearms, into your wrists, and then slowly come back. Beautiful. Slowly, we're going to open the arms. Bring your right fingertips to face right, left fingertips to face left, and just start to shift the weight a little bit side to side. Nice and easy. Again, noticing where the weight transfer comes from as you move from side to side, still making sure all 10 knuckles are down. Imagine you're even trying to grip the mat, really feel the activation through the fingers, but all 10 knuckles stay down for 3, for 2, and 1. Beautiful. Bring your palms back to normal, and we're going to just flip the palms upside down. So as you flip the palms, fingers are going to face towards the knees. Know that if you need to make this a little easier, you can walk the hands closer to the knees. And then from there, very gently start to shift forward. And then as you shift back, feel the stretch through the top of the forearm. Continue to move nice and slowly at your pace. Know that if this is the first time you do these, they might be a little intense. Again, everything with repetition, with patterns, with these cycles that we go through, the more that we do them, the more the forearms will stretch and strengthen so that we can use them in different ways. For 3, for 2, and 1. Come back into your tabletop. Bring the palms to the mat. Tuck your toes. Lift the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Beautiful. Downward facing dog. Maybe the first one of the day. Allow yourself to find some movement. Do you need to pedal out your legs, bending into one knee, bending into the other? Maybe you'd like to shake your head yes. Maybe you'd like to shake your head no. Just remember to shake it yes once again, always ending on a positive. If it feels good, maybe you'd like to bring one knee in front of the other to kind of find a gentle twist, really feeling the stretch through the side body and through the outer hips. If it also feels good, maybe you like to lift the hips up nice and high, then melt them back down into the ground. Notice, make sure you're still pressing all 10 knuckles into the ground. Wrap the outer side of the armpits down. Feel as the shoulder blades slide down the back to help stabilize the shoulder. Press the heart towards your thighs. The knees can stay slightly bent, or they can be fully extended. Just make sure you're trying to lift the tailbone nice and high up into the sky so that you're trying to find even the arch in the low back. Take a breath in. Press the shoulders a little bit further back. Breath out. 2 more breaths. Inhale. And exhale. 1 more breath in. And a breath out. Beautiful. Slowly bend the knees. Inhale, look forward. As you exhale, slowly tiptoe your feet to walk all the way forward. Your feet are going to stay hip-width distance as they reach right behind the wrists. Let the belly rest onto your thighs. Bend the knees as much as you need to do so. Option, if you'd like to, you can grab onto opposite elbows. And let your head relax really heavy. As you do so, notice the stretch through the whole spine. If it feels good, you can sway a little bit side to side. Maybe if it feels good, you can start to stretch out a little bit more through the legs. Just notice if you're doing so, trying to add a little bit more weight towards the toes, just so we can find a deeper stretch through the posterior chain, the back of the legs, the glutes, the lower spine, all the way down the spine and back into the mat. Slowly come back through center if you're swinging. Relax the hands. Option, if you'd like, you can bring your big toes to touch, leaving a slight space between the heels. And then very gently, one vertebrae at a time, start to roll yourself up. Know that there's no rush to get to the top. Your head and neck will come up nice and last. Once you're there, press into the feet. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up towards the sky. Feel as you activate from the ground into the knees, the hips, the core. The arms reach up nice and high. Bring your palms together slowly. Bring your hands towards your heart center as you exhale. I invite you to close the eyes and set an intention for your practice today. As we go through these mandalas, through these circles, can you notice what you want to change in your life? Maybe noticing that the old patterns that you have no longer serve you. And maybe noticing that for you to get to your next level, something needs to change. And maybe you invite that new person in today. Take one more breath in. And just feel your intention throughout your body. Exhale. Beautiful. Blink open the eyes. Let's start to move. Inhale, mountain pose. Press into the ground. Engage and reach all the way up to the sky. As you exhale, hands come through heart center all the way down towards a forward fold until your hands can touch the ground. Bend your knees if you need to. Let the head and neck also relax heavy. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthening the spine. Hands can stay on the ground, can come to your shins or your thighs. Try to flatten out the spine. Squeeze the shoulder blades behind you. Let the shoulders lift up and lift from the back of the head as well. Shift your weight forward onto your tiptoes. Inhale. As you exhale, high plank. Plant your hands. We're going to step the feet back. Hold. Know that if you need to modify, you can always drop the knees, lift the heels, but still shifting the weight onto the hands. If you're in your high plank, squeeze the inner thighs, tuck the tailbone, and lift from the center of the heart as you press the ground away. Nice and strong. Hold for 4. For 3. Shift forward in 2. And 1. Inhale, shift forward. As you exhale, chaturanga, we're going to bend the elbows. They're going to come to 90 degrees. Make sure the elbows are pressing in towards the side of the ribs. Feel the core stay nice and engaged. Untuck your toes or bring your toes to the mat if they're lifted. Inhale, upward facing dog, lengthening out through the arms. Let the heart shine forward and up. Let the shoulder blades hang down and back on the spine. Beautiful. Really feel as the heart opens up, pressing into the toes. Take one more breath in. As you exhale, lift the hips all the way up and back, downward facing dog. We'll take one breath. Inhale through the nose. Maybe you seal the lips and exhale through the nose. Ujjayi breath. Let's move to that breath. Inhale, bend the knees and look forward. As you exhale, forward fold, step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, engage the core, lift the spine. Exhale, forward fold, hinge from the hips. Inhale, reach forward and up, engage the legs, the core, the arms. As you exhale, hands to your heart center, Samasthiti. Inhale, mountain pose, Tadasana, reach up nice and high. As you exhale, forward fold, hands coming through heart center. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. As you exhale, high plank, plant the hands, feet go back. Inhale to shift forward. Exhale, lower down halfway, Chaturanga Dandasana. Untuck the toes. Inhale, upward facing dog. Shine your heart through your arms. And as you exhale, lead from the hips, downward facing dog. One breath in through the nose. Melt the heart towards the thighs. Exhale. One more time. Bend the knees. Inhale, look forward. As you exhale, you can step or hop, top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose, reach up super high. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, mountain pose, reach all the way back up. As you exhale, forward fold to the ground. Inhale, halfway lift. As you exhale, high plank. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower down halfway. Chaturanga option if you need to bring the knees down. Inhale, upward facing dog, opening up through the heart as it goes forward and up. And as you exhale, lead from the hips, downward facing dog, pressing into the hands. Heart towards the thighs. Maybe there's a bend in the knees. Maybe the heels are touching the ground. Maybe they're not. That's okay. Really find the activation through the arms, pressing into the ground. 2 more breaths. Inhales to lift up through the tailbone. Exhales for the heart to melt. Breath in. And a breath out. Bend the knees. Inhale to look forward. As you exhale, step or hop all the way forward. Take a seat. Beautiful. We're going to lay all the way down, coming into our core section. We're going to kick the heels all the way up towards the sky, legs up the wall. Beautiful. Bring your hands long by your side. Press the palms firmly into the ground. We're going to start just by lifting the hips. So I want the heels to kick up towards the sky. Nice and easy. We kick up and lower, up and lower. Up and lower. Continue to move. Continue to breathe. When you exhale, the hips go up. Keep going. Notice you don't have to lift very high. You're doing great. Can you lift a little bit higher? 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring your knees into your chest. Give yourselves a quick hug. And then release the legs. Reverse tabletop. So we're bringing the shins parallel to the mat. Knees directly over the hips. Interlace the hands behind your back. We'll move into bicycle crunches. Take an inhale. Lengthen the spine. As you exhale, crunch right elbow towards the left knee. Inhales, open back up into the chest. Exhale, crunch left elbow to the right knee. Inhales, find center. Exhale, crunch to the right. Keep moving. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. We're moving nice and slow on purpose. Try to lift both shoulder blades off the ground. Make sure that you're moving the elbows towards the knees, not the knees to the elbows. We're halfway there. If you want a little bit more, option to start extending the opposite leg long. Open mouth exhales, release the heat and engage the core as you lift. Beautiful. 2 more. Doing great. Last one. Finish strong. Bring both knees into the chest. Give yourselves a hug, a squeeze. Rock a little side to side. Once again, we're going to rock forward and back until you find yourself into a tall seat. We're moving into a boat pose. Bring your legs together. Heels are close to the glutes. Try to find a 90-degree angle in the knees. Lift the heels off the mat. We're going to bring our hands behind us, fingertips facing towards the hips. Squeeze the elbows together. Beautiful. And lift up through the chest. This is your layer 1 of boat pose. You're welcome to stay right here and breathe. Know that if you want an additional layer, meaning a little bit more effort, lift the heels up and off the mat, parallel the shins to the ground. You can either point or flex the toes. You can keep the hands where they are. This is your level 2. If you want a level 3 option, to release the hands, bringing the arms towards the front of your mat so that they're right in line with your shins. Continue to lift up through the center of the heart. Imagine your heart is being pulled up into the sky. Spine is nice and long. Core is nice and engaged. If you want to, a little bit, lean the chest kind of back, just so that we find a little bit more engagement through the whole core. We're almost out of it. Stay strong. Are you still breathing? Is that breath energizing the muscles? Deliver more oxygen to your muscles, the more your muscles will react to you, and stay strong. Beautiful. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Take a nice tall seat. Take an inhale. As you exhale, twist over towards your right hand behind you, left hand on the outer thigh for leverage. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, can you look up and over the right shoulder? One more breath in. And twist, breath out. Come back through center, inhale. As you exhale, twist to the left hand behind you, right hand to the outer left thigh. Every inhale, feel length through the spine. Every exhale, can you look up and over the left shoulder, feel the twist. One more breath in. And exhale, release. Come back through center. Plant your hands. Send the feet back. Tuck your toes, lifting the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Pressing into the hands, let the heart melt back. Feel the engagement as you press into the hands. Feeling the belly button lift up a little bit higher. Sits bones a little bit higher as well. Maybe the heels can melt just a little bit deeper. One more breath in. Open the mouth, let it go. Seal your lips, inhale through the nose. Exhale through your nose. Breath in. Slow the breath out. Equal inhales and exhales, breath in. And a breath out. Bend your knees, inhale, look forward. As you exhale, forward fold. You can step or hop to the top of the mat. Right away, bend the knees, inhale, chair pose. Sit your hips back and down. Find a tuck of the tailbone. Beautiful. Feel the core engage. Lift up through the center of the heart, making sure that the biceps are framing by the cheeks. Bring your pinkies towards each other so that you can open up through the back of the heart. Can you sit a little bit lower? One more breath in. As you exhale, airplane your arms. Can you sit a little bit deeper? Maybe the hands even sweep the ground. Bring the hands behind you, palms facing down. Squeeze the arms towards each other. Feel the chest open up as the collarbones start to smile. Can you sit a little bit lower? One more breath in. Hold it there, nice and strong. Breath out. Weight comes to your right foot. Inhale, one-legged mountain. Lift the left knee up to the same height as the hip. Arms come up nice and high as well. Find the stability. Pressing equally into your whole right foot. Flex your left foot, your floating leg, just so that you feel the engagement of the left hip, really grounding, squeezing both inner thighs to find more stability through that right leg. Take one more breath in. As you exhale, open, twist. Right hand can come to your left thigh. Left hand reaches behind. Notice that you can look towards the left side wall. Maybe you want to look towards your left thumb. It's okay if you lose your balance, but if you keep that drishti nice and strong, one more breath in, you find your stability, breath out. Slowly come back, inhale, one-legged mountain, reach both arms up nice and high. As you exhale, crescent lunge with airplane arms. Start to kick your left foot all the way back. Slight bend in the right knee, nice and slow as you're moving through honey. Let the left foot touch the ground without trying to make any noise. Keep the chest pulling forward, arms reaching behind you. Notice if the left heel is sinking down. Press off of the left toes to lift the left heel. Keep the hips nice and square. Left hip pressing forward, right hip pressing back. Really feel as the front line of your body is lifting up and away out of the hips. One more breath in and a breath out. Drop your back heel. Left arm is going to make a big movement all the way forward, up, and then all the way towards the back, moving you into a warrior two. Then right away with the same inhale, right arm is going to reach all the way up and back into your reverse warrior. Beautiful. So as we move that, it's going to get a little bit easier, little to no weight in your back hand. Right arm is reaching up and back. Really feel the stretch through the right side of your body. Make sure your hips are still sinking down. You're still in a lunge. Feel a little bit more pressure towards your outer pinky toe on the right foot, just so you feel more stability through that right leg. Take one more breath in and a breath out. Look towards your left foot, the foot behind you. Beautiful. And then we're going to bring that right hand, bring it all the way down. We're going to swivel on the right leg and make sure the left toes start pointing to the back of your mat, and bring both hands to frame your left foot. We want to find a modified pyramid so the back heel can stay lifted, but really try to find a stretch as you lengthen the left leg, pulling the left hip towards what is originally the front of your mat. Let the chin hang nice and heavy. Breath in through the nose. Can you relax into the posture? Breath out. One more breath in. One more breath out. Beautiful. Plant the hands as you slowly kick the left foot all the way back into a three-legged plank. Shift forward as you exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana, both feet to the ground. Inhale, upward facing dog, open the heart. As you exhale, downward facing dog, lifting the hips up and back. We're still on the right side. Inhale, kick your right heel up to the sky, three-legged dog. We want to keep the hips nice and square. So as you press into the hands, make sure the right hip drops down. And if you notice your right foot, your toes are pointing down towards the ground as well, not towards your right side wall. Take one more inhale. Can you reach it a little higher? As you exhale, slowly bring your right foot to the top of your mat between the hands, low lunge. Drop your back foot. Inhale, warrior two. Left arm spirals all the way up and open. And breathe. Pressing into the knife edge of your back foot. Really feel that strong back leg. Notice, can you see your right big toe? If not, let the right knee open up. Again, adding a little bit of pressure to the outer edge of your right foot. Feel as the hips start to open up a little bit more as you tuck the tailbone underneath you. Really engaging into those lower abs, finding a nice long tall spine. Arms stay out nice and wide. Gazes over your front middle finger. Breath in. Can you sink into your lunge? Breath out. One more inhale. And exhale. Inhale, shift all the way as far forward as you can. As you exhale, side angle. Right arm can come to the inside of the right thigh or onto your right thigh. Left arm is going to make a big circle. Maybe the arm reaches straight up towards the sky. If you want a little bit more, maybe it reaches at a 45-degree angle. Breathe. Using the strength of your right knee and your right inner hip to open that right thigh to keep the knee stacked over the ankle. Beautiful. Feel as the hips continue to sink down. Notice as you rotate through the core to open your chest up towards the sky. One more breath in. Can you open through the twist a little deeper? Breath out. Inhale, star pose. Reach both arms up towards the sky. Bring your right toes in so that they're parallel with the left. Maybe wiggle out the hips a little bit. I'll give it to you on the first round. Inhale, reach up nice and strong. As you exhale, wide-legged forward fold, hinging from the hips, letting the torso fold and melt down towards the ground. Once again, relax your head and neck heavy. Breathe here. Options up to you. If you want to bring the hands just to the ground, right underneath where the shoulders are. Maybe you like to grab onto your big toes. If you want to stretch out more through the spine, maybe you can walk your hands forward. If you want to stretch out more through the low spine, maybe you walk your hands behind you, really curling all the way through the spine. Your choice, your variation. Again, this is your class. Adjust it so that it feels good for your body, for that what you need, or maybe just find it as a moment of playtime so that it feels good. Take one more breath in wherever you are. And a breath out. Bring your hands directly underneath your shoulders. Inhale, halfway lift. We're going to lengthen the spine. Then as you exhale, come back towards the front of your mat. Bring both hands to the inside of your left foot. If you need to, you can toe heel your left foot to the outer edge of your mat. We're going to drop the right knee for this first one, finding yourself into a runner's lunge. Beautiful. Relax the head and neck heavy. If it feels good in your body, you can let the left knee open up just to find a little bit more of that external rotation through the left hip. And then if it feels good for you, allow yourself to drop onto one forearm, then the other. And breathe. Noticing if there's any tension. We've done one full circle, allowing the thoughts to come back, allowing this circle to fully solidify and feel good, just letting any tension that you may feel right now, just let it go. Beautiful. When you're ready, if you're on your forearms, start to press back up into the hands. We're going to tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, and just lift the hips all the way up and back. Find yourself into a downward facing dog. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through your nose. Let's do the opposite side. We'll bend the knees. Inhale, look forward. As you exhale, forward fold, step or hop all the way to the top of the mat. Inhale, chair pose, bend the knees, sit down nice and low, reaching the arms up to the sky. Breathe. Can you shift your shins further towards the back of your mat? Really sink the hips down. Lift up through the center of the heart. Feel the core stay nice and engaged as the low ribs knit in. One more breath in. As you exhale, airplane the arms, option to sweep the ground as you're moving the hands back. Palms facing down. Squeeze the pinkies towards each other. Really feel the opening through the center of the heart. Try to sit a little bit lower. One more breath in. Breath out. Shifting the weight onto your left leg. Inhale, one-legged mountain. Your right knee will come up nice and high. Lifting the arms up towards the sky. Breathe. Flexing your right toes. Beautiful. Squeezing the inner thighs. Staying nice and strong and stable. All the way down through the left inner leg. Into the left foot. Take one more breath in. As you exhale, open twist. Left hand can come to the right thigh. Right arm will reach behind you. Your option for the gaze may be towards the right side, maybe towards your right thumb. Wherever you are, find your drishti, find the gaze. Feel the stability of the body. If you fall out, get right back into it. One more breath in. And a breath out. Inhale, one-legged mountain, release the leg, both arms come up nice and high. As you exhale, crescent with airplane arms, slowly start to send the right leg back. Again, we want to try to land without making any noise, keeping the heart directly over the left knee. Squeeze the inner thighs, help to square the hips as you send the right hip forward, the left hip back. Can you lift the chest up a little higher? Reach the heart forward, reach the arms back a little bit more, even engage through that upper body. One more breath in and a breath out. Big movement. Inhale, reverse warrior. Drop the back heel. Option to make a big circle with the right arm and the left arm as it reaches all the way up and back. Sink into your lunge. Little to no weight on that back hand. Maybe you're looking up. I invite you for this time, maybe look down. That's where we're going anyway. Sink a little deeper into the hips. Can you feel a deeper stretch through the left side ribs? One more breath in. As you exhale, look towards the back toes. We're going to start to bring the left hand all the way down. Start to swivel so both feet are facing the back of the mat. The back foot can actually lift. But again, we want to find now as much length through the right leg, pressing into the right heel. Send the right hip up and back. The back heel can be lifted. If it feels good to you, you can take a slight step forward just to make the left foot and the pyramid a little bit more narrow. Continue to lead with the heart center towards your toes, feeling a nice deep stretch through the back of the right leg and even through the back of the right lower back. If it feels good, chin comes into the chest, breath in and a breath out. Plant your hands, send the right foot all the way back into a high plank. Maybe the right foot stays floating, shift forward, lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Still on the left side, inhale, left heel to the sky. Hold and breathe, press into the hands. Square off through the hips, bringing that left hip down. Flex your left toes. Left toes are pointing down towards the mat. Press into the hands. Can you lift the heel a little higher? Inhale. As you exhale, slowly bring the left foot, bring it between the hands. Drop your back heel down. Inhale, warrior two. Big movement with that right arm to settle your arms parallel to the ground. Pressing into the knife edge of your right foot. Can you see your left big toe? Let the left knee open up. If not, really bringing a little bit more weight to the outer edge of that left foot. Tuck the tailbone underneath you. Feel the low ribs knit in. Can you lift up a little bit more through the center of the heart, finding your gaze over your front middle finger? Breath in. Breath out. One more inhale. As you exhale, side angle, shift all the way forward. Left arm comes down, maybe to the inside of the knee, maybe over the knee. Right arm is going to make a big circle, maybe till your right arm reaches towards the sky. Again, your variation, maybe you reach in a 45-degree angle. Can you lift the hips, drop a little bit more? Stabilize deeply through the legs. Let the left knee open up. Continue to open and twist through the center of the heart. Breath in. Twist, breath out. One more inhale. And twist, rinse it out. Breath out. Inhale, star pose. Reach both arms up towards the sky. Bring your left toes in so that your foot is parallel to the back foot. Reach up nice and high. And then as you exhale, wide-legged forward fold. Let the hinge from the hips, bringing the heart and the head come down towards the ground. Relax through the jaw. Again, your choice. Do you want to grab for the ankles or the toes? Do you want to walk your hands forward in front of you? maybe between the legs behind you. Maybe you're finding the same stretch, but I invite you, maybe you try something different on this side. We're only here for 2 more breaths. Wherever you are, slowly bring your hands directly underneath the shoulders. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. As you exhale, slowly walk your hands back to the front of your mat. Option, if you need to, you can toe heel your right foot out and you can drop the left knee down. Again, finding your variation here. Maybe if it feels good for you, you can let the right knee open up. Maybe you're allowing yourself to drop onto your forearms. Know that if you have blocks or props, they can always come in handy in these scenarios. It's always better to have them by your mat if you have them, rather than trying to go get them in the middle of a class. But it's okay if you don't have them either. Know that if you eventually want to drop onto your forearms, one way to do that is to just gently start to walk your hands forward in front of you. You'll feel a deeper stretch through the right inner thigh and through the left psoas. And eventually one day the forearms can touch the ground. Allow yourself to relax through the head, through the upper body, and just enjoy the nice stretch. If you're on your forearms, start to rise back up, pressing into the hands. From there, tuck your back toes, lift the back knee. We're going to bring the right foot all the way back. Downward facing dog. We'll take 3 breaths. Inhale through the nose, lengthen up through the spine. As you exhale, press your shoulders towards the thighs. Finding that activation, finding that strong body as we've moved both ways in these full circles. Inhale. Press back, exhale. One more breath in. And a breath out. We're going to slowly drop the knees. We're going to find a tall stand on our knees, and we're going to move into a camel pose. Know that we want our knees to be hip width distance apart. A good measurement is 2 fists between the knees. From there, come back to stand on your knees. We're going to bring our hands to our low spine. Imagine your imaginary back pocket. Squeeze the elbows together. Beautiful. Start to press the hips further forward towards the front of your mat. As you inhale, start to look up and lift up through the center of the heart. And then as you exhale, slowly maybe tracing a line in the ceiling or in the sky behind you. Continue to squeeze the elbows together. Really focus on pressing the hips forward so the hips stay either over the knees or in front. And let the heart lift up rather than letting the spine roll back. If it feels good, option to grab on for your opposite ankles. Let the heart open up a little bit more. Press the hips forward a little bit more for 3, 2, 1. Slowly, the same way you came in, drawing the line until you can look all the way forward. Take a seat onto your heels. Rest your hands on your thighs. Maybe you even close the eyes. How do you feel? As we do these heart openers such as camel, maybe emotions come up. Listen to them. Maybe as I asked you that, you were thinking of the circles that we did, of the patterns that maybe you recognize even in your own yoga practice as we all develop them. And hopefully noticing that as you continue to practice, maybe even through this sequence or through the next classes to come, that you continue to practice being the best version of yourself. Take one more breath in and a breath out. Open the eyes, drop onto one hip. We're going to extend both legs long in front of us. Know that if you want to, you can do this with bent knees. If you don't have a full forward fold, as you inhale, reach the arms up nice and high. As you exhale, seated forward fold, really pulling from the center of the heart. Spine stays as long as you can. You can grab onto your ankles, to your shins, maybe over the toes. Know that if you can't reach your toes, but one day you want to, this is where the bent knees can come in. And eventually what you start to do is just slowly start to kick your heels out, walking the foot further away from the hips. And one day, as you find that strength and that flexibility through the posterior chain of the body, you'll eventually touch your toes with fully extended legs. But again, the destination is not to touch the toes. It's the journey as we get there. These patterns, these circles of life that we have, these highs, these lows that we start to recognize and hopefully appreciate. Because every circle, every part of life has something to teach us as we acknowledge it, as we recognize it for what it is, not better than it is, not worse than it is. And we learn that these cycles always happen, part of life, and that we all go through them. For yourself, for myself, for your friends, for your family, for your loved ones, and for the strangers in the world. You're always trying to be the best version of yourself to get the best out of the life that we live. Slowly starting to walk your hands back, coming into a nice tall seat. We're going to bend into the knees, slide forward, and then very slowly you can roll yourself nice and gently down onto your back. We're going to bring both knees into our chest. Reverse tabletop the legs. Open the arms out like a T. Just let the knees gently roll over onto the left side. Notice if the right shoulder lifted up, press the right shoulder back into the ground. And maybe you can even look over towards the right hand. Maybe you like to close the eyes. 5 breaths. Really try to deepen the breath, full breath in, full breath out. Breath in. And twist, breath out. Slowly bring the knees back into the chest. Maybe give yourself a little hug, a little squeeze, just to realign the spine. Open up the arms once again, reverse tabletop the legs. Just very gently let the knees fall over towards the right side. Again, shoulders staying grounded. Maybe you look over towards your left hand, option to keep the eyes closed. As you let your drishti, your internal gaze, go inward. Breathe. If the breath is shallow, can you make it a little deeper? Inhale through the nose. And exhale. One more breath in. And twist, breath out. Slowly bringing both knees back and into your chest. Give yourself a nice big hug, wrapping the arms all the way around the shins. Bringing the forehead up and into the knees. We want to engage every muscle in the face without clenching your jaw. Engage a little deeper, squeezing through the arms. Feel the activation through the shoulders, the core. Engage even into the legs. Try to use the hip flexors to pull the knees in a little bit tighter. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Take one deep breath in. And as you open the mouth, exhale. Shavasana, allowing yourself to take up space on the mat. Your right toes will fall right. Your left toes will fall left. Again, arms are long by the side, palms face up. Maybe you want to roll and tuck the shoulders a little bit closer together to lift up through the center of the heart. Find a place that feels comfortable for the back of your head. Maybe you even tuck the chin a little into the chest. We'll take one last breath in through the nose. And just open the mouth, exhale. Melt into the mat and breathe. I'll guide you out when it's time. Know that if you need a little bit more time, please stay right as you are. If you're ready to wake back up, we'll start with the breath. Take an inhale through the nose, filling into the belly. Opening the mouth, exhale. Second breath is a little deeper. Inhale, fill into the belly and into the chest. Open the mouth, exhale. Third breath, a little bit deeper, even louder. Inhale. Hold it at the top. And then open the mouth, maybe even sigh it out. Start to add some movement into your fingertips, into your toes. Maybe even drop the chin a little side to side. Starting to roll out through the wrists and the ankles, going in one direction. Reverse, going the opposite way. When you're ready, slowly reach your arms up and over the head. Bring your big toes to touch. Find a full body stretch as you inhale, really lengthen, lifting the low spine off the mat. And as you exhale, bend your knees, rolling over onto your right side, using your bicep as a pillow. Bringing your top hand, pressing it into the center of your heart. feeling the cycles of your breath and your heartbeat, knowing that everything you need is already inside you, knowing that you are loved, knowing that you are enough. And that is part of these cycles that never leaves us. When you're ready, just press yourself up into a comfortable seat. Bring your hands to your heart center. We'll just close out class with one last cleansing breath. Take an inhale, feeling as you press into the sits bones to lengthen the spine. And open the mouth, exhale, just relax. Bringing your hands to your third eye center, a center of intuition. With love, with light, we gently just bow forward towards each other. Namaste.
How do you feel right now after your class? Remind yourself of the intention of why you're showing up. Allowing yourself to start to notice the patterns, not only on your mat, but also off of your mat. That's where the yoga really starts. So really use these classes. Maybe take it again if that sequence seemed a little maybe too complicated, or if you're really ready to level up, we'll go to the next sequence, which I'll put right up here for you to do. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. And as always, continue to know yourself, be yourself, and choose happy. My name is Alejandro from Flow into Nature. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for spending time with me today. I hope to see you very soon.